Hello, friends, and welcome to the Roar podcast. We are so excited to be with you tonight. We have kicking us off tonight Halston Parks, and Halston will be speaking to the topic of being present and intentional. Let me introduce our panel of guests. We have with us Catherine Legg, Dr. Marina McLean, and myself, Destiny Yarbrough. So, Halston, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what you have to share tonight. So I want to ask you to start off, how do you balance life being married, being a parent, and being a business owner?
So before we get started, I kind of want to share like a little backstory of why I felt led to share this topic. The easiest way to put it is we're walking through it right now. My husband and I, we've been married 4 years. We have a baby that just turned 1. And we bought our own business a year and a half ago in Atlanta. And something that we're working on being present and intentional with our time, our relationships, our daughter. It's so easy in today's world. There's so many distractions. And I believe that even good things can be a distraction to us in our walk and in our marriage and parenting. And I love the word present. It means a period of time that's now occurring. And then the word intentional means done on purpose. So my husband and I, we start with making sure our lives are in biblical order. Making sure our relationship with God is top priority. And then our relationship with each other, and then with our daughter, and then our business comes. I feel like a lot of young business owners, or even business owners in general, they're so focused when they open a business that they've got to like grind and get it all done, instead of just trusting that if God's giving you this business, He is going to take care of all the ins and outs of it. So just allow Him to do that. And same with marriage and parenting. So I would say we start with making sure that our lives are biblically balanced when it comes to putting God first in our marriage. I know a lot of parents that they take care of their kids before they take care of their spouse. And, while our kids are in need of many different things, like I said, our baby's 1, so the season we're in, she's in need of something all the time. But making sure my husband knows that he is top priority, it really does allow like our life to flow so much smoother and be more balanced.
Good. So I have a question for you, Halston. You've probably created some daily intentional habits that have carried you through the transitions that you've been in. Would you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I'm like an organized fanatic. I love planning. I love being organized, and my house has to be clean at all times. And so I have had to learn to tone it down a little bit as a new mom and as a wife. And I love the scripture in Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. And it says, "Now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up to him and said, 'Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me.'" That sounds like me sometimes. I'm like, I do that with Cody. I'm like, "Do not see that I've been working with the baby all day." And then the Lord answered and said, "Martha, Martha, you're anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary, and Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her." Top priority, I have some like non-negotiables in my life, and one of them is being in the Word. Daily, I don't allow a day to pass by without just at least sitting and reading one scripture. Sometimes the day fluctuates where I'll get to sit and read, 2 to 5 chapters, and then one's like I get to read one verse and move on. But making sure that I've been in the Word and that I've sat at the Lord's feet, and then also I really believe in the importance of taking care of the vessel God's given you here on earth. So, what I put in my body, like nutrition and, taking time to just, be active and exercise. And, honestly, a lot of times today, like people think, and especially, wives and moms and women, we think if we're doing something for ourselves, like it's selfish. And I always say, if I can't take care of myself first, I'm not going to be able to take care of anyone else to the level that I should be taking care of them at. So those are some of the things that I just have non-negotiables that I write down, and being in the Word, having my prayer time, taking care of my health, and like I said, I love a clean house, so I had to balance out daily only doing one task a day, to just stay on top of it, but to not feel like a crazy person where I'm not in the moment with my child playing, or I'm not in the moment when my husband gets home from work. So little things like that I've just put in place that really help and go a long way.
This at a very early stage in your marriage and motherhood. This is brilliant. And I've got a question for you. What does quiet time look like for you?
Well, I'll be the first to tell you it's not quiet. So, right now, I have noticed that my quiet time's changed in the season that I'm in with motherhood. Unless I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., then I'm not going to have any quiet time. But I've noticed that I know that the Lord, I sense this in my spirit, that the Lord is more pleased with me sitting and reading a couple of scriptures, even if I have to read them 2 or 3 times to comprehend them in that moment, because Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is on in the background. The Lord is more pleased with me sitting down and reading in the midst of my child playing the floor than not opening his word at all. And that doesn't mean we as Christians don't need that quiet and alone time with the Lord, because I think it's so important that we're in his presence and we do get alone with him. But I also think we should show ourselves some grace and not feel the pressure of our time with Jesus having to be quiet all the time. Like for me, our business is 40 minutes away from our house. So on our drive there, I put on a sermon, and my little girl's in her car seat playing in the background, but at least my spirit's getting fed in the midst of real life.
Very good.
This is Destiny Yarbrough coming to you from the Roar podcast. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Let's roar together.